welcome. I'm Melinda Kinglami. Tonight, suspected herdsmen attack Kikon village in Numan local government area of Adamawa state, leaving 3 people dead. Organized labor in Benue state seeks justice for 15 of its members killed in the New Year's Day attack by suspected herdsmen. The umbrella body of Muslims in Nigeria asks faith-based organizations to stop blaming Fulani herdsmen for Benue killings. And Turkish ground troops cross into northern Syria as part of campaign to rid the border of Kurdish fighters. We begin tonight with security matters. 3 people have been killed after gunmen struck in an early morning raid on Kikon village of Numan local government area in Adamawa state. Eyewitnesses told Channels Television that the invaders stormed the village at about 2 a.m. while the villagers were still sleeping and sent them fleeing into the bush. The police public relations officer in the state, Mr. Othman Abubakar, during a telephone conversation, confirmed the incident but wants residents to go about their activities as calm has been restored to the community.
Actually, there was an attack by suspected herdsmen at Kikon and Adamawa village, fall under Numan local government of Adamawa state. We've confirmed that 3 people lost their lives. Well, a lot of houses, about Pt.1 houses were razed down by the suspected herdsmen, and 3 were equally injured. They have been rushed to Numan General Hospital for medical attention, and then thereafter too, there was a kind of a reprisal attack by the farmers community at Leru village, where we have our Fulani settlement. A lot was lost there, and property were destroyed. As I speak with you now, a lot of measures have been put in place to stop further reprisal attacks. And equally, things have started going back to normal. Police mobile units, 2 mobile units have been raised in pursuit of the assailants and other miscreants within and around that area.
And still on security matters, but this time we move from Adamawa to Benue state, where the organized labor is demanding justice for 15 of its members killed in the New Year herdsmen attacks. The state chairman of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Mr. Godwin Aya, who led the group to the governor, Samuel Otom, also challenged the federal government to declare the herdsmen found culpable as terrorists.
Relief materials may not count for much compared to the losses and pains of the over 60,000 internally displaced persons who are now camped in Daudu and Engi. 15 civil servants were among their 73 kinsmen killed in the New Year's Day attack by herdsmen. Their constituency, Organized labor in Benue state, meets with Governor Samuel Otom to demand for justice and equality before the law.
Congress condemned this genocide on the people of Benue in its entirety and described the act as wicked, barbaric, and callous. Congress also frowned at the federal government's inability to live to its primary constitutional responsibility to protect and defend the lives and properties. Congress throws its weight behind all civil society organizations who are willing to institute legal actions against the Miyetti Allah, the socio-cultural umbrella body of the Fulani herdsmen.
While asking the workers to allow peace to prevail, Governor Otom reminds them of President Muhammadu Buhari's promise to fish out the perpetrators and ensure justice for the bereaved.
Let us see justice being done as the President promised us. And I believe that the directive of Mr. President to the IG of police and the other security agencies will give us justice so that we know that we are part of this country. Anything outside that is not accepted.
The security situation has been compounded by outstanding workers' salaries, but the governor appeals to the labor unions for understanding.
I'm also willing to scale down the running of government, and whatever is a leakage in wage bill of 7.8 billion naira, which we all agree with the national level that it is too much, it's outrageous and cannot be sustained. Let us work together. Wherever we need to leave some little space out so that we'll put this matter of payment of salaries every month as I went due, we can put it behind us. And I'll be most grateful and happy.
While organized labor may have a bone to pick with the state government over unpaid wages, they also recognize the need to close ranks to deal with a common adversary that is even more deadly.
Another group has another perspective to the violence in Benue State. The umbrella body of Muslims in Nigeria is asking faith-based groups to stop blaming Fulani herdsmen for the recent murder of over 70 persons in that state and other parts of the country. The Secretary General of the GNI, Dr. Khalid Abubakar, while speaking to journalists in Kaduna State, cautions against labeling crimes and criminals along religious and ethnic lines.
The occurrence of security upheavals, kidnappings, armed robberies, rising bombs and attacks of Boko Haram insurgents and ethnic violence here and there in Nigeria is alarming, and there is urgent need for redress. Citizens are becoming more and more agitated. Government should take the bull by the horn by prosecuting promoters of hate speech in Nigeria. If not, one day it will become a norm that cannot be challenged. Government should act fast before we are consumed by their induced conflagrations. Finally, while we continue to express our sincere condolences to all the victims of these unfortunate killings, we are calling on both the politicians and non-governmental organizations to be even-handed in finding a lasting solution to these repeated, senseless killings.
In the meantime, the leadership of the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, PFN, in the southeast has rejected a proposed plan by the federal government to establish cattle colonies in states across the federation as a means to solve the herdsmen crisis. Reading out a 12-point communique in Owerri, the Imo State capital, after a national leaders meeting, the Vice President of the PFN Southeast, Mr. Cosmos Ilechukwu, says the Fellowship of Nigeria in the Southeast condemns the plan by the federal government.
We align ourselves with the position of the Christian Association of Nigeria and, of course, that of the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria in rejecting the idea of establishing cattle colonies all over Nigeria. Cattle belong to individuals. They don't belong to the Nigerian nation. It will be gross abuse of the office to take over people's land and give it to a group of others for their private businesses. We support the anti-open grazing bill of the Benue state government and urge other states to adopt same.
Conflicting reports say some hoodlums suspected to be herdsmen have set the farm of the former presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, Mr. Olufalaye, on fire. The spokesperson of the Ondo State Police Command, Femi Joseph, who confirms the incident to Channels Television, says the police are trying to put out the fire, but adds that he cannot confirm if the hoodlums are herdsmen or not. The police spokesperson says no one was found on the scene of the crime when they arrived, but assures that investigation has begun and the culprits will be arrested and prosecuted. The Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, is advocating a stronger unity amongst Nigerians to speed up the development of Nigeria as a nation. The Vice President was speaking at a forum in Abuja and maintains that Nigeria's strength lies in her unity.
Our country is, in many ways, the perfect example of a nation or a community of diverse persons, diverse talents, diverse opinions, even religion, but which somehow God has found a way of bringing us together. And that our great strength lies in taking advantage of that unity. I'm convinced that the legal profession is one that continuously encourages that unity and continuously supports that unity. And I know that everywhere you find a lawyer, you find the broad-mindedness, the open-mindedness to embrace each other as one and the same.
To education now, the Nasarawa state government has banned all forms of corporal punishment in the state-owned institutions. The action, according to the Commissioner for Education, Aliyu Tijani, is as a result of a video which went viral, which was taken from a school, a science school, where students were being flogged for resuming late.
This video that has since gone viral has attracted wide condemnations from many Nigerians, and expectedly, it has also caught the attention of the Nasarawa state government, which has now announced a stop to all forms of corporal punishment. This amateur video was shot by a staff of the school who is dismayed by the decision of the school management to flog final-year students who did not resume school on the resumption date without considering the economic situation of the country.
Even me as a parent, honestly, I can't see my daughter being beaten and punished like that as a result of maybe late coming, considering our economic constraint. You know, at least it's something that all of us have to condemn that.
Authorities of the school all declined to speak on camera for fear of being victimized. However, Mukhtar Wakil, an educationist, sees no merit in meting out such punishment to students.
You see a teacher carrying a stick, what they call the koboko now, to beat students as if they're beating animals. And sometimes, if a student wants to avert that, he doesn't want to face that, having seen the way the other people that indulge in such a certain offense with, and he dodges and leaves the school, he will never come back again.
From the medical point of view, psychologists have identified various ways such punishment could affect students negatively.
Some of the effects we have depression, we have anxiety, we have anger, and also we have post-traumatic stress disorder.
The Nasarawa state government is not happy with the development and has since suspended all the actors involved in the incident, while a committee has been constituted to investigate the matter.
Nobody is quarreling in the punishment of students where they erred. But however, the implementation of the punishment, which is corporal in nature, particularly to women folk, is what has drawn the attention of everybody. And the ministry decided to suspend the principal, and then the compound master, and then the teacher that sent this information through the social media, because he has refused to follow the proper channel of communication.
With corporal punishment now a thing of the past in Nasarawa schools, the state government seems to be telling school authorities to devise other ways of instilling discipline on their students, rather than subjecting them to flogging, which is fast losing acceptance globally.
In part 2, after the break, the Nigerian Navy begins Operation River Sweep 3 to fight smuggling and diversion of petroleum products to neighboring countries. Please stay with us.